Alright, and we are live. Welcome everyone, first of all, on a Sunday. It's a busy streaming weekend, this, isn't it? But I've been really feeling I've been really feeling it with the shiny hunting. So I was like, you know what? I have another free evening tonight. So might as well give it another shot. I will say that that won't happen next week in the weekend because I have a pretty busy one planned next week. But that's alright. Hello Jet, by the way. Getting that title reference right away. Nice. I hope you have a good rest of your day, by the way. Whatever it is that you have to do today. I always appreciate coming in to say hi real quick. Even if that is all there is to do. But yeah, we are doing some shiny hunting. And it's I spent a little bit of time earlier today, by the way, doing some giving some nicknames to some different Pokemon. So that was fun. I think there were a couple of I think there's a couple of good ones that I came up with. I feel like there are a couple that I need to evolve for them to properly make sense. But still. I feel like some of them work pretty well. But yeah, in any case, I'm going to show those off in a bit. But I hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. Mine has been pretty chill. I did have some things I needed to do today, but that was all of that was in-house, you know. So that wasn't too much of a problem, luckily for me. And here we are tonight. Hopefully gonna get some more shinies. Of course, tomorrow I'm hoping to finish up Metroid Prime, which I'm still not 100% sure yet on what game I'm going to be playing on Mondays after that. But we will see. We will see. I have some good options though. So it's gonna be fun nonetheless. But yeah, the coming week is gonna be a busy one because there's also, of course, Kirby Air Riders coming out on Thursday, which I want to do an extra stream for. So, you know, whereas I won't be able to do any extra streams in the weekend, I will probably do one on Thursday instead. So that's fun, right? In any case, I think it's time for us to get into it, isn't it? not. I don't have a huge amount of stuff to talk about at the start of today. Tends to happen, I guess, if you go live that many days in a row. In any case, though, welcome to everyone who's already here, and let's get going. Let's get to the gameplay scene. So, of course, we already had like a bunch of nicknames that I already showed off. I named the Garbodor Ultra Chat because I found that funny. I also really like that Pokemon, regardless. So it works for me. It works for me. So this is Breedle. This is RJ Dio, this kiddo. I was initially going to name it Dio, but I decided to go with RJ Dio instead. Because, like, if I do just Dio, everyone's going to think I'm referencing the anime thing. I forget which it is, but there's like a popular anime character named that. So I decided to go the full Ronnie James Dio here. Because, obviously, one of the greatest metal vocalists of all time. Formerly of Black Sabbath. Ah, yeah, JoJo, that's the one. So that's where I went with that one. I went with a little theme for all of these phalanx. They're all named after, infamously bad wrestling factions. So here we have Retribution, the Core, the Oddities, the Spirit Squad, Aces and Eights, and X Factor. Those are all, I mean, if you don't watch wrestling, you're not going to get any of those references, but those are basically all famous wrestling factions who are basically just famous for not being very good. Yeah, the whole team of Phalanx, that's great, isn't it? I really like it. I can't believe we ended up getting that many of them yesterday. But that was a really good thing. Here we have Huntress, which is a reference to the band Huntress, this kiddo. Would that be 6 Pokemon or 36 Pokemon? I feel like it's up to interpretation. I would like to say it's 36, though. I would like to say it's 36. Ember I named the Big Show. Felt appropriate. This Ampharos is rigged. So, it's rigged. It's literally what it is. I named Scrafty Almosh. Then, I mean, I feel like that fits pretty well with how it looks, right? Check summary. Plus, it's an Insanity Alert reference. Here we have Bon Bon Jovi. I was pretty proud of this one when I came up with that. The Slurpuff Bon Bon Jovi. I feel like that's a good one, right? I hope it is. Northern is called For the Loud because, of course, it is. Here we have Axel Roserade. Then we have Dimmu Borgia. That, if you don't listen to black metal, that's not gonna make any sense, but it works.
Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, Meek. Maybe if I get another Scrafty, that could work. How are you doing, by the way, Meek? The Spyro is named Kana. Fletchling is named Talentrot. We got Little Leo, the Speed Queen. Flabebe, I just named the Genie. I couldn't really think of anything else, and this song came up in my playlist, so I was like, that's gonna be it. And the Pidgey is the Helion. For those who don't know, the Helion is like a sort of mascot for Judas Priest. So, and it's a bird, so figured like it was a good name. I hope you have a good rest of your day, Jet. And thank you for the good luck, of course. Gotta have a drink real quick. I do need to evolve this Voodoo still to make the name make sense, but it's. I feel like this was a good one, and I feel like this Slurpuff name was a pretty good one as well. So there's a couple of really fun ones in here. In any case, I think it's time for me to. I'm gonna put Axel Roserade in my team actually. So that I can get it to evolve. Game with Fletchling. Anything else I really need to do? Yeah, Pidgey, I guess. I'll put that one in there. And yeah, with that, let's get to hunting. So I saw something earlier where if you warp to Wild Zone 5, I saw a short that talked about this. So warping to Wild Zone 5 immediately puts you within range for the Froakie. So I saw some advice of like just spam Wild Zone 5. And you can do it a lot quicker that way. It's very mindless though, I will admit, but it is quicker, to be fair. Plus it also... like, it also makes potentially some other things shiny than just Phalanx all the time. So I was like, let's give this a try. Let's see if this works. I also saw a cheesy method for, or not necessarily a cheesy method, but a slightly quicker method. For, what's it called? For Fennekin. So I might want to give that a try too. By the way, Meek, what did you think of some of those nicknames that I had in there? There's two in there that I feel like you would find really funny. This music we're hearing right now, by the way, Wind Waker, that's one of the games that I've been considering for my next Monday game. But the original version. So the first time I played that on stream was the HD version on Wii U. I'm considering doing the original version, which is on NSO, of course, which helps. Okay, let me have a look behind me real quick. No luck yet. I find it funny though that, like, Zone 5, warping to Zone 5 gets you closer to the Froakie than warping to Zone 16 does. It's interesting how that works. It allows for some very fast re-rolling though. Also means I need to check both of these zones eventually. If there's any suggestions, by the way, on some good Nintendo games that are playable on the Switch too, I'm always open to hearing them. Though I do have a good idea of like what my best options are. But I would be curious to know if like someone suggests something that was in my mind already. You know what I mean? This is all kind of assuming that we are going to finish Metroid Prime tomorrow. But I think that there's a very real possibility that I will be able to do that. Have a look. Oh, nothing. I do hear that alpha behind me every time I load this. Yeah, you get these reloads at such a quick pace. When you do this, it's almost like, you know, there's no way that this should take super long. You would hope, at least. In the meantime, I'm adjusting a few small things about my like IRL setup. Mostly the lighting in my room, because I have it a little bit too dark right now. I wonder how many, like, reloads would be a reasonable amount before you start, like, looking around a little bit. You can do so many of them this way without the day cycle moving along. Okay, let's have another look. Nope, still nothing. One of those little green statues back there from the entrance gate confused me for a second. I do wonder though how many spawns in here you trigger by doing this. Because I can't see any. But you would think there would be at least a couple, right? It's such a brainless strategy, but if it works, right? By the way, my current idea for the Donkey Kong Country stream that I'm planning on doing, where I do all 3 Donkey Kong Country games in one sitting, my current plan is to do that on the 22nd of December. I think that's correct. The Tuesday before Christmas, basically. Because I likely won't be able to do any streams on Christmas themselves. Which would mean that 2 of my, like, normal streams would get cancelled that week, essentially. The Wednesday one and the Friday one. But at least we will get the extra long one on Tuesday. The same thing will kind of end up happening on New Year's. Because New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday as well, so I probably won't be able to stream that day either. That's okay. I do have some, like, workarounds in mind to kind of, like, make those weeks make sense streaming-wise. So once we get to that point, I will post about it in Discord like I always do. Though admittedly, these past few, like today and yesterday, that floor just looks interesting to me. For whatever reason. But isn't floor just like purple down below? Yeah, it is. Okay. But as I was saying, I will, even though I did it this week, like this weekend, I announced both of my streams like only a couple of hours in advance, which isn't the best, I will admit. But yeah, the holiday weeks are going to have a slightly different schedule than usual, to say the least. And when it comes to the next Monday game, I'm kind of torn between whether I want to go for something new or whether I want to go for nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because one thing I mentioned yesterday is that I like to do a lot, like, I like to play a lot of, like, very nostalgic games near the end of the year. I don't know why, that's kind of just something I've always done. I guess it kind of gets me in the holiday mood a little bit. But that's kind of what I've been considering for those... Like, for the next Monday game. Is do I want to go that route for that as well? Or do I want to... Like, do I want to keep it for now with games that I've not finished yet before? Like, either on or off stream. Getting so many reloads, but we're not getting the same kind of luck yet, it seems, as the Phalanx was giving us yesterday. I'm gonna have another look around here real quick. I keep getting confused by that floor, just but that's like because the flower bit is of course a different color than the one I'm used to. So yeah, Wind Waker was one of my options for Monday. I was thinking about like both Luigi's Mansion 1 and Luigi's Mansion 3 as possible options. A bunch of other things. There were a couple of Mario games that I had in mind. That was an Alpha Proki there. Not there anymore though, so it wasn't shiny. That's also an interesting way to tell if like potential shiny has spawned. If I hear the Alpha Froakie noise a couple of times in a row, then chances are that it could be a shiny. Same if I don't hear it at all for a while. I could do one of the older Mario Kart games as well. I would have loved to have done Double Dash, but I don't think that's on NSO yet, is it? I don't think so. The Mario Kart 64 could work as well. I'm gonna have a quick walk around Area 5. Just to see if there are any potential shinies that could have spawned. Like, I wonder if these here are within range when you do the warp. Or this Alpha Bellsprout. I think they might be just too far away. Wouldn't surprise me. Kind of wish Pokemon Coliseum was on NSO though. That would have been one that I would have loved to do. I should research how shiny hunting works in that game. Probably works pretty like similarly to how it does in most old games. If you even can shiny hunt. Then again, I don't think there would be a way for you to get your stuff in home if you did get a shiny. So that would be a little unfortunate. Ocarina of Time is also always a good option, but I don't think it was that long ago since I last streamed that game, was it? I don't exactly remember, but I do know I've done at least 2 playthroughs on stream of it. Probably the game I've done the most playthroughs of all time. Not counting Super Nintendo, at least. Those games are also like significantly shorter, so that also makes a little bit more sense. For example, a Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Even when I play casually, it usually takes me like an hour to beat. So naturally, you would have done a game like that a lot more often in terms of a full playthrough than an Ocarina of Time. No luck yet so far tonight. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 hours again, though, for the first shiny to appear like it did yesterday. That would be pretty painful. Even if we did end up finishing with a really good haul. For a second, I thought it was shiny there, the Froakie. But no, it wasn't quite the case. Even more Wind Waker music. This playlist wants me to play that game as well. To be fair, I put a lot of Wind Waker music in there, so it does make sense that it pops up regularly. I want to make a decision before I start stream tomorrow, though. On what the next game is. So that, you know, imagine if we beat Metroid Prime like an hour into the stream. I don't think that's gonna happen, but hypothetically. I would want to have that. I would want to have the backup, you know what I mean? I would want to be able to just immediately go into the next game. Because it wouldn't be the best to like be an hour into your stream and then be like, I don't know what to do, you know? To be fair, it's not like that's never happened before, but still. Hi there, Randy. Thank you for the lurk. Always appreciate those. Okay, we've been going at this for a little while already. Let's have another look around. Oh, look at this. We got our first shiny of the day. Let's go and get it. That's a really nice shiny. I'm gonna see if I can catch it in the Great Ball. Nice. Nice, nice. I completely forgot to save about that. But that's the first shiny of the day. Nice, nice. It's a really good shiny as well, Medicham. Let me check real quick if that went in the correct box. No, it didn't. I warped to the wrong thing. That's a good way to start the day off, though. Shiny Medicham. You know what shiny hunt you'll be doing next to Drampa tonight? Which one is that? I'm curious to know. By the way, Meek, don't forget to check out the Air Riders demo. Now that it's still there. Froakie Zone 5 one. Ah, that's fair. Yeah, fair enough. Medicham is a good shiny, to be fair. And it's surprising how like quickly you can reload this. I almost accidentally threw a ball there. Imagine if you end up getting a Froakie before I do, Meek. Have a quick look around. Looks like there's nothing there. Let me have another check in Area 5. Looks like there's nothing. What does Fluffy look like shiny again? Let me look that up real quick on the side. Oh, it's pretty subtle. It's like a very lighter shade. It's a slightly lighter shade of pink. Maybe the little ball on its tail might be a different color. I can't quite tell from this image if that's the same or not. Or if I go to an older picture, it becomes green instead of blue. Okay. Wanted to make sure I know that. How about Ampharos? Oh, Ampharos goes fully pink. That one you will be able to see. That Mario Sunshine music. That would have been a good game to do next as well, if it wasn't for the fact that it's not on NSO yet. Unfortunately. Have another look. What if I now end up having a full team of Medicham before we get that Froakie as well? That would be quite something, wouldn't it? I keep forgetting what exactly the current NSO GameCube lineup is, but I think it's like Luigi's Mansion, Wind Waker, GB Robo I think is on there. And there's a couple of others, right? Yeah, F-Zero GX is on there. And I think I'm still forgetting one. But I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, Soul Calibur 2 is on there as well. Which is still kind of surprising that that's one of the like launch ones that they put on there. I really like that game though, so I don't mind. Oh, look at that Alpha Froakie up there. Oh, are you serious? I don't know if anyone saw that, but there's a shiny. Yeah, look at this. The shiny phalanx running around. What even with this? It's just... all the time, it's just phalanx. Alright. For phalanx army number... yeah, apparently so. Even from this point, phalanx is what I get shiny. Alright. I'm gonna genuinely end up with a whole box of these. Now I need to think of another bad wrestling faction to name it after. I can't believe that. I'll take it though. You would almost need a macro controller for this. And then you could just kind of sit there chilling out while the controller keeps resetting for you. I do want to do that ramp hunt that you're doing, Mika, as well at one point. I feel like that would be a fun one to do. Let's have a look. I'm almost half expecting for there to be another phalanx over in the background. Why is this Fluffy? No, it's blue, okay. I was gonna say, that Fluffy was confusing me for a second. But it was nothing. I wonder if I'm above odds yet on Brokey. Wouldn't surprise me at this point. Especially with how fast this method is going. I'm glad they gave Phalanx a Mega in this game. I also should probably check Area 5 again soon. I'll do a couple more reloads and then I'll check both areas real quick. Okay, let's have a look. Nothing here. How about this area? Oh, look at this. Got a Bunnelby. That one's great for the Premier Ball. Nice. Nice, nice. Don't mind getting that one. Okay, 3 shinies already. We're on a good pace tonight. I will admit. Though I've lost count how many phases I'm on for the Froakie / Fennekin hunt. Have you had any luck yet, by the way, Meek, or are you doing the Kirby thing right now? It was a good guess, though, that reloading this also causes a bunch of spawns in 5 to reload. So this is a really good spawn for a lot of different Pokemon. I thought something. I thought I saw something there, but it was just like one of the particles on the Wild Zone door. I'm gonna spam reload for the remainder of this song, and then we're gonna check again. This song is only like just over a minute. So it's not too long, right? Even though you can do like, what, 10 resets in that time? Even more, maybe? That was an alpha there. So if it's there again... No. That way we know that there's no shiny Froakie yet. Okay, let's have a check. Oh, dude. It's Shiny Froakie. Shiny Froakie's here. Let's go. Nice. Oh, and a Shiny Fluffy here as well. That's insane. Okay, I'm going to try and get that Froakie first. I've made sure to save. That's a Premier Ball catch, surely. Turn around for me, please. No. Okay. That's why we do safety saves. Okay, we're good. Turn around. This thing's hard to catch. I messed it up again. This might take a few attempts. But we're gonna get this thing. Going to try Kirby Air Ride? It's not nice, Meek. Nice. Oh, netball apparently works really well on this. Can you hit, please? What's going on here? Why did it not... Why did it not hit any of those times? What was that about? After you're going to do this hunt? Nice, Meek. Why is it doing that? Why is it being that way? This Froakie is really obnoxious to catch. There we go. Alright, good. We got that Froakie. And there was a Fluffy here as well, right? Where is it? There it is. I'll put it in the heal ball, why not? Alright, 2 shinies in one go. Let me go ahead and have a quick run around if there's something else. That Froakie was really obnoxious to catch, but we got it. We very definitively got it. And a Fluffy, so now I have like a legitimate one as well. And not just the one that you get by default. That Bellsprout looked odd to me for a second, but wasn't quite it. Looks like there's nothing interesting going on here. I mean, have a look at my boxes, though. We're 5 shinies in already today. Including one of my main targets, this Froakie. We need to come up with nicknames for all of these as well. Wait, I have a nickname for this one, actually. Change nickname. Phalanx. Pure Fusion, another... The full name is Pure Fusion Collective, but that obviously wouldn't fit. So I'll make it Pure Fusion for now. Another pretty infamous wrestling faction. But I still need to come up with something for these 4. Actually... Medicham is a fighting type. It's male, and it's blue and white. There we go. I feel like that works, right? In my opinion, it does. What nature is it? Oh, that doesn't fit very well, but still. Now I just need to come up with something for the other 3. Let me save in the meantime. And let's go to the ice area for a little bit. Given the music that's currently going on. So I do think I want to go right to Fennekin now. But I'm not 100% on that. We're already off to a great start tonight. We're only an hour in. And look at all the stuff I found. Some very good luck. I guess the most efficient way for this area would be to just like reset one of these benches. Wouldn't it? I don't know if that makes any sense at all, actually. Part of me feels like there might be a quicker way to do this area. But I don't know. Calm down, please. I'm just kind of doing whatever right now. Trying to think of what I want to do next. If I want to just go straight to the Fennekin. For which I do think I will be using the bench method. Just for the sake of all the other stuff you could like accidentally get while doing it. Yeah, I think that might be what I do next. We've had absolutely zero luck on that hunt so far. Including the part where we check this real quick. Including the part where we could get like a collateral one. Like just straight up, none of that has happened in this hunt at all. In the Fennekin hunt, I mean, not this what I'm doing right now. This is just kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything. Look at this double alpha Scrafty here. I do want to like reload Zone 20 a little bit, just to kind of break things up a little bit. I'll do this like maybe 3 or 4 more times, and then we're going to go to the Fennekin. What does shiny Chikorita look like, actually? Let me pull up an image real quick. Oh yeah, it gets like a brown leaf. It basically looks like it's fall. Scruffy loves being alpha today. Nothing yet. Okay, one more run through Area 20, and then I'm gonna go see if Fennekin is willing to give us any luck. Nothing in here, fair enough. What zone was that again? It was zone 18. That's the one I'm looking for. That band stage would have been fun. Or if this rubbish was just shiny again. Just check that. Rabbit that's in there? No, it's not shiny. No, like down here it seems. What about the Fennekin? Nope. Grab that item real quick. Alright. Here we go with this again. Nothing yet. Wouldn't expect something to go that quickly. We've already gotten 5 shinies today, which is pretty insane. Wave Freeze would be a fun game to do on stream one time as well. That would probably be like a one-off though. I don't think that game would last me more than a stream. Smash Bros. Melee, another fun one I would love to do if it was on NSO. But it's not, unfortunately. It's always hard to see that that Bagon down there. Or Bagon? Bagon? How do you pronounce that? I'm not sure, to be honest. So there was a quicker way to do this hunt. If you specifically only want to get Fennekin. Where you, similar to the thing you're doing, Meek, with Drampa. Where you, like, take it out at a certain timing, at a certain time of the day. Then you wait, like, 58 seconds. That Bagon down there was throwing me off for a second, but I don't think it's anything. And then you save quit. And then you basically just reload the game over and over again. Until the Fennekin respawns as a shiny. But of course, that way you basically make sure that your only chance at getting a shiny is that Fennekin. Whereas with this method, everything around it can be shiny as well. Battle Zone activated. We've already spent like 6 hours doing this method once. To get that Halucha. Surely we can do it again for the Fennekin. And with Fennekin we can kind of break it up. Every now and then if we need to, which is also nice. I don't know what else I would be doing next to it, though. At this moment. Battle Zone activated. I'm trying to think of what like my next hunt would be after I get this. And if it could be a hunt that I could like make interchangeable with this one. And I'm not too sure. I'm gonna do a couple more reloads here. And then I'm gonna look at my Pokedex for a bit. And see if there's anything specific that I would love to hunt. I'm sure there's still plenty of things, to be fair. One thing I would love to still do is hunt shiny Spiritomb in Legends Arceus. But we're not going to do that next to this Fennekin, of course. This specific reload is taking a really long time to spawn a shiny, though. I haven't had any shinies here yet. While the other one we've had quite a lot. The Froakie one. I'm gonna pull up on the side here while these reloads are going on. I'm gonna pull up a Pokédex for this game. To see if I can spot anything that I would specifically like to hunt. Magikarp would be a really fun one, actually. Though I don't know what the best way to do that would be. But that's one that I would really like to do. I would love to try and get Ekans as well. For that, I do think there's a decent method that I can think of. Scrolling through everything else. Swablu here is one that I would really like to get, but that's kind of what we're already doing. Eevee is actually a really good one. I wonder what the best Eevee method is. Gebel would be great to do as well. And Machop. And I think there's a specific area that spawns both of them. So that could be a good thing to do. Mawile would be really nice. Absol would be really nice. Riolu and Lucario. Patini would be a good one to hunt. Gen 1 starters, but that's just reloading Zone 20, basically. Most of the Pokemon that are in the ice area are ones that I would love to get. And I think for those I could like either reload the zone or I could do the bench method. I don't know which one would be better in that case. Have another quick look over there, because I didn't really see that last Swablu properly there. Phantom is one that I would love to get as well. Klefki, Litwick, and that line. I think bottom line is there's plenty of Pokemon that I would really want to get shiny. I just don't know which one I would be doing next. think Litwick might be one that I want to focus on. I don't know where it spawns, though. Let me have a look. Because I would love to get that Chandler shiny. The mega one. Let me see. Oh, it spawns in the sewers. Only in the sewers? Interesting. I'm on the side here, just kind of trying to look up ways to shiny hunt Litwick. While we are doing all these checks, you're spending a good amount of time like reloading anyway. Shiny Litwick hunting location. Oh, this side is really awkwardly made. Did I get a proper look down there? Yeah, there's nothing. See, so you go to the sewers for Litwick. You get to a specific spot in the map. Fast travel to the entrance and basically try again. At least that's what how I'm interpreting this. That looks like an annoying hunt, to be honest. I do want to get it, though. In the meantime, we're not getting any luck down here. Okay, I'm gonna reset one more time after this, and then I wanna give this Litwick a try real quick. Gonna go ahead and check the zone. Nothing here. Maybe back where the other thing is. No. Okay, where's the sewer entrance again? Well, hold on. This isn't the right sewer entrance, is it? Oh, because this leads elsewhere. This isn't the bit of the sewers that it spawns in. In the blue district. Where is that even? Why can I not find this place that I'm supposed to be looking for? I see blue sectors. I don't see blue district. Could it be around here? Oh, blue district is just what this entire area is called, of course. Would this not be where that entrance is? Yeah, because you like do something with this. I do read that there's apparently some side quests that you need to do in order to kind of open that space up. Still really confused though. How do I get to this thing? I don't know. I feel like this might be something I'm better off researching offline. There's something below me, though. I think whatever that was below me there is how I get to this spot that I'm trying to get to. I think it might be here. What move is it again that breaks this? It was like confusion or something like that, right? Can my Metagross learn that? Or Psychic. Maybe it was Psychic. Reload, please. Yeah, confusion does the trick. Ah, I see. So you get there. You can get there through Zone 5, apparently. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side quest real quick. Unless... Oh, now it's just unlocked. So I kind of don't even need to really care about this. So I go here. I think I need a fire Pokemon. Do you have a fire move, Talontrot? I hope so. And then I think you just run over to this specific spot here. As quickly as possible. Because there's two Litwick that spawn. Yeah, there they are. And then you just exit and reload the map. It's a bit of a pain, as you can see, to get the aggro to go away, though. Okay. Do you like, actually need to, completely leave? To reload it? I don't think so. The page I have open says you need to completely leave, but I feel like that's incorrect. This is also a good way to hunt for Klefki, by the way, which is also nice. So we're gonna do a couple of cycles of this. Oh, you see, that did reload them because one of them is not an alpha anymore. It's a little bit of a pain to do this hunt, I will admit, but it works. I would love to get that clef key. Even if my voice is not a fan, apparently. Got something here real quick. Alright. And let's get going again. Something here? No. I wonder if this is also the best place to hunt Klefki. I feel like it could be. I'm kind of curious what's in that other room there down to the right. Just want to check. Just to see if there's anything there that I would love to hunt as well. Oh, there's a Gumi here. And an Inkay. Well, let me get whatever that TM down there is. Yeah, these will both be fun to hunt as well. Though Litwick is my main target right now. I feel like this, like the observatory music from Majora's Mask, which is playing right now, I feel like that fits this area surprisingly well. Yeah, I think this is a fun way to break up the Fennekin hunt. Now that I think of it. Even if each reload does take a minute. I thought there was a Charmander there for a second. But obviously that was not the case. Part of me wants to kind of explore more of this area. I'm also unsure on the whole thing where you would need to exit and re-enter. Like, I feel like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I kind of get the logic behind it. But this guide that I have here says to exit and re-enter. I have no idea if that's actually necessary. All of a sudden there's an alpha here again though, so maybe that does do the trick. I wonder though if the Litwick spawn would be close enough that you could like enter and exit over and over again to re-roll it. Let me check something real quick. It does look like it works, though. Hello, Catherine. Nice 5 stream streak. How are you doing? Hopefully, hopefully you're having a good day so far. An aggro, please. How am I? I'm doing good, Catherine. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. We've been having a pretty good bit of shiny luck today. Okay, this video I'm looking at on this now says that you just have to walk here and then walk all the way back. Then just walk back and forth like that. But yeah, we're having some pretty good shiny luck tonight. We already found 5 shinies. Okay, yeah, one of them just spawned as an alpha, so this does work. You saw the Joe and oh, you mean the medic jam, yeah. That was a nice little surprise there to get that. I wonder how far you actually need to be away. In areas like this, you can't place pins, which is a little unfortunate. Because that would have made things a lot easier. I wonder, let me have a look. How far away do I need to be to despawn that Klefki? Would I need to go all the way here? Yeah, I would. I think that might be worth doing. Except okay, it does respawn again. But yeah, we did get ourselves a Froakie, which was more or less one of my main targets. So that was really good. That Klefki might not be the best way. Like, it might not be the best to do that method with Klefki, because it seems to very inconsistently respawn. But yeah, we got Froakie, we got a Bunnelby. Yet another phalanx. And also a Flaffy. So we have one of those legit now. Which is nice. Oh, there's the Klefki again. That Klefki is very inconsistent with its respawning, so I don't think it's the best way to go to just try and reload that one every single time as well. So it might still be worth trying. I'm gonna chill here for a second so I don't die. Anything in here? No. Oh, there's a scrub back there, but it wasn't a shiny. No luck. Nothing again. This is an interesting shiny hunting method. I will say, like, if I went for the reloading method, there would be more potential things you could get as a shiny. But if you're purely looking to hunt this Litwick, then this works pretty okay. Especially once you get a good enough feel of when they're spawned and when they're away. I'm gonna grab that little sparkle there. Both of them. Just so that kind of stops irritating me, you know what I mean? Where's the other one? There it is. Candy Litwick is pretty easy to spot, luckily. Which helps. Yeah, the one downside of this is that you're basically only re-rolling those two Litwick. Which is not ideal. But then if you go for this method here, and like, just for safety reasons, if I were to go out and go back in, you would essentially end up re-rolling like these Klefkis here. All of these Pat Rats, basically. And, of course, the Litwick. That's a pretty decent strategy, I would say. I wonder how long every single reload technically takes on this. Because you would basically have to walk around like a little over 500 times to be above odds on this. Let me time this real quick. So it takes about like 15 to 20 seconds from the looks of it. Which is similar to how long the Hawlucha reset took. So let's say you can do 3 of these per minute, right? Let me grab my calculator here real quick. If I do 3 of these, if you can do 3 of these per minute, and you need to go 512 times to be at odds. It would be a little under 3 hours. Of doing this before you are at odds. So not before one should have spawned, but before you're at odds. Which is interesting to think about. It has been a little while since I've seen a shiny, though. Maybe I shouldn't complain with the luck we had earlier, but still. Oh, I accidentally stopped running. Nope. One thing I will say is, like, I don't really know how many other things are within range when you do this. So you could be accidentally spawning in something else elsewhere without realizing. I think I'll do this for a couple more minutes, and then we probably want to go back to the Fennekin for a bit. I wonder how Meek is enjoying that Kirby demo in the meantime. Whoops. That was an unfortunate accidental button press. If we get that back from the Pokeball guy, later. That would imply that he goes in here looking for Pokeballs, which is funny to me. I'll do maybe like 5 or 6 more runs, and then we're gonna go to back to Fennekin for a bit. Gonna have to keep my camera pointing that way so I know like the most efficient timing to run back, you know what I mean? Every now and then they spawn behind those pillars, which is kind of annoying. Okay, let's head over to the Fennekin for a bit. Just in case, though, let me see if this Klefki here has become shiny in the meantime. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know if that should be my next main hunt. I'm not opposed to it, though. I keep low-key hoping whenever I run past here that Trubbish is shiny again. See if anything good wants to spawn right away here. No. Unfortunately not. Nothing here. This has been such an unlucky spot so far. Or we're just gonna keep going. Eventually, one of these things is gonna end up shiny, right? Or at least that's what we can hope. I wonder, that's that little corner with the rabbit? Does it spawn something else at night? The Lopunny? I don't think it does. That's an interesting thing to think about. If I look at my map real quick for this zone. Now we do basically see all of these. And that Lopunny is then basically just like a bonus spawn. So I suppose that's not quite the case. Nothing again. Hopefully everyone has had a nice weekend, by the way. Mine has been pretty chill, for the most part. Did a bunch of things in the house, played some Pokemon Go. Of course, as you know, we did a whole bunch of shiny hunting. Some pretty successful shiny hunting as well. So it's been a good weekend, I want to say. And I'm of course looking forward to the concert that I'm going to next week as well, which is on Sunday. I wonder how long it's going to be until something here shines. Pretty long, from the looks of it. It's always funny when there's an alpha. When there's an alpha Noibat in there. And it's almost as big as a Noivern is. I had that shiny Go-Goat, the alpha Go-Goat out earlier today, and man, these alphas, they really get proper big. I don't happen to have it in the team right now, so I can't show you, but those things get really large. I'll have a quick look once again at the current haul for today. Not in the satchel, it's in here. Yeah, we have these three, of course. And then the Phalanx and the Medicham. Still need to come up with nicknames for all of these. You want to go until nightfall? Yes, I do. We always do, apparently. One thing I will say with this playlist that we have playing while shiny hunting, it really makes me want to play a lot of these games. Like this song, it really makes me want to play Smash Bros. Melee again. Puts you in a very nostalgic mood, doesn't it? And I'm sure whatever song pops up after this one, it will make me say the exact same thing about whatever game that is. Whenever I see a bag on down there, I always have to take a double check because they're hard to see from that distance, especially through the little like green wall. Easy to get thrown off by that. Part of me low-key wants to consider doing the reset method for this thing. Since nothing here seems to want to become shiny anyway. But I still feel like that would be a little bit of a detriment to my overall chances, you know what I mean? Or maybe that's just me, who knows? The only bad thing about like alternating with this one is that every time you go back to do this, you end up having to like run all the way up the scaffolding again. Which is not ideal, but it's... I'd rather do that a couple of times than just spend hours on end doing just this one bench reset. You know what, though? I kind of want to give the spawn reset a try. What's that floor just doing? Okay, hold on. I need to grab a timer real quick. Just to make sure I timed this correctly. Give me 1 second to pull that up. Stopwatch, there we go. So from my understanding, if I go ahead and kill this, or if I despawn it like that, I think that should work as well. And then at like 58-ish seconds, I save. then we should be able to start reloading the game over and over again. Hopefully this works. I just want to test if this is like, if there's merit to this, you know what I mean? We're at 40 seconds now, but just a little bit longer. Okay. So I'm gonna save right now. Yeah, and then it spawns immediately. So then I can reload it by just reloading the game over and over again, you know what I mean? I'm gonna time how long that takes to see if there's merit to that. Seems that takes about like 16, 17 seconds every time. I'm gonna time it one more time though, a little bit more accurately. Okay. Yeah, it takes about 17 seconds. Which I do think is significantly quicker than the other method. But like I said, it does come with the downside of only being able to grab this this Fennekin. You also need to be careful that you don't like autopilot yourself into resetting when it becomes a shiny. Which is something that I could definitely see myself doing. Got an alpha there that time. Nope. We'll do a little bit of math again. You take a total of 290 minutes to go full odds on this. Which is a little under 5 hours. Which I do think is faster than doing the bench method, to be fair. So there is some merit to it. And it's similar to the method that Meek used for the Drampa that she was trying to hunt the other day. You need to not forget your controls though, because then you end up giving yourself a hard time. So for now, we're just kind of chilling here, listening to some Monster Hunter music. Hoping we get some good RNG. I did end up timing that save quit pretty well, though. Because the Fennekin spawns pretty much right away. This is not a bad method at all. But it will take you a while. Especially in terms of setting it all up. But I will say I don't mind doing this method right now because we've already got the Froakie as well tonight. So no matter what happens, this is a successful evening. So this essentially maximizes our chances to get the Fennekin next to it. If I were to keep this going. I should pre-order the DLC soon, by the way. Because we're not too far away from it releasing. December 10th, I think it was, right? That's pretty soon. Still very curious to see what, like how that DLC is going to affect the shiny hunting methods for this game. It's gonna be fun figuring that out. The drowsy stat, it's like the game loads quickly enough that it's impossible to read those little hints that you get. I don't mind though, I like fast loading times. What that DKC music. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I reload with doing this. Like, it's only the Fennekin. Which is the biggest downside about this this method. No luck yet. Pretty excited, by the way, to finish up Metroid Prime tomorrow. As much as I've enjoyed that game, it does kind of feel like it's time for something new. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that I will be able to finish it up tomorrow. What is finishing a game? I mean, you know, you never truly finish a game, do you? There's always going to be something where you're like, man, what if I played it this way? Or what if I collect all the things? For me, there is, anyway. We will defeat the final boss, though, and move on to something else. Does anyone ever have one of those days where you have, like, proper breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything? And then for whatever reason you're still hungry in the evening? Today is one of those days for me. I don't know why. I'm trying to think of, like, did I skip something today? I would almost think so, but I don't think I did. Unless my memory is failing me. Meek made some really nice, like, kind of panini-adjacent sandwiches with meat and cheese and whatnot. Those were pretty good. Particularly the bread she used was really nice. I don't even know what bread that was, but I really like the bread in particular. Ah! Looks like we have a good opportunity to unleash one of these.
Say his name and he appears.
Hello, Meek. How are you? You're still alive. How did you enjoy the demo? Doing good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, that's fair, Meek. That's fair. That's understandable. I'm planning on playing it quite a bit myself, though. But yeah, I can see why you would feel that way. Have you been able to do any shiny hunting? Whoops. Italian, but oh, I see. That makes sense because I always like Italian style bread. I always really enjoy. So that makes sense. I would almost like ask if there are still more of them, so that I can make some after stream. Probably not though. Only 2 per package? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll have to think of something else for the evening then. Because I'm feeling like proper hungry. Like, not like just have a quick snack and it's gone kind of hungry, but like actual hunger, you know what I mean? I don't know why. Did I skip lunch today? Did I somehow skip lunch today? I feel like that might be the case. You did? I feel like I might have too. Come to think of it. Well, that would explain that. Yeah, because for breakfast I had the sandwiches for breakfast. But I definitely need to go grab something after stream then. Hopefully we have something good for that in the house right now, because I don't really want to go to the store later. At that, I don't know if they're even open at that hour on Sundays. Got a nice wave race music going in the meantime, though. Have you been able to do any shiny hunting yet in the meantime, Meek, or not yet? I would assume so, but you never know. Papa Twimby is always a fun game as well. It's not a good stream game though, because you finish it in like an hour. It made for a great game at SNES Week though, earlier in the year. Still can't believe how many shinies we got in Area 16 before we got that Froakie. But I'm glad we did get the Froakie eventually. I'll probably do it off stream, but I want to try to evolve that into a Greninja as soon as I can, because Shiny Greninja is one of my favorite shinies in the franchise. I also still need to think of a nickname for it. I might want to do some Zone 20 runs in a bit before we go back to the sewers. There's still a lot of stuff in there that I would love to get shiny. We have found 2 in there so far already though, so that's good. This Fennekin is not cooperating. It doesn't help that it's the only thing that can spawn right now with this method. I'm gonna do a couple more resets and then I might do something else for a bit. Because this does get old after a while. I just got a message on Marktplaats, which kind of annoyed me a little bit. So someone, for those who don't know, Marktplaats is basically like a Dutch eBay. So someone placed a bid on it. And it was a good bid, like a proper, reasonable offer. And I was like, you know what, I'll take it. Right, so I sent them a message being like, okay, I will accept this. Like, would you like shipping or do you want to pick it up? And then they sent me a message back. Oh, I don't actually have the money for this. And I'm like, God damn it, man. You know, It's always the same story with these people over there. At least this time they responded, but still, it's annoying, isn't it? Like, why would you put an offer on something if you already know you're not going to be able to pay it? Or am I the only one that thinks that's strange? Like, I get maybe if you're like putting offers on multiple things. Like, let's say you were looking for like a Mega Drive, which was what I was trying to sell. And you place like a bid on 5 different ones. Obviously, you're not gonna get all 5 of them. You know what I mean? But from the sound of it, it looks like this person was just kind of placing offers just for the hell of it. Now, like, man, why even do that? But yeah, that's pretty frustrating. Any luck? No, not quite. I like how there's also like still on that same site. There's now someone who bids under the highest bid. And I'm like, man, are you just not paying attention? Some people just baffle me with their logic on that side. Also, at the same time, bidding under the current highest bid just shouldn't even be possible. It was never possible, but they changed that a while ago, and now you can just suddenly randomly bid way below what the current top offer is, and it's like, why? You know what I mean? Why would you even do that? I don't know, maybe I'm just missing something, but that seems strange to me. I feel like this is very appropriate music to be talking about things like this, in a way. I think I'm gonna go with this method until 8, and then we're gonna do something else in the for a bit to break things up a little. Unless we got a shiny before then. That would be magnificent. I mean, of course, we would move on to something else when that happens, but still. Minish Cap is another one that I would love to do. That's another one of my options for after Metroid Prime. Which falls in a bit more of the nostalgia category that I might want to close out the year with, you know what I mean? I forget how long that game is. I know it's a lot of fun, though. One of the best games in the franchise, in my opinion. I mean, I would say that about pretty much all of them, so I don't know how much merit there is to such a statement. But still. According to How Long to Beat, it's about 15 to 25 hours, depending on how much you do. I feel like that's a pretty good length, actually, for my next game. I might want to do that. I know there's a couple of people who watch who really like that game in particular. So it would definitely be a fun thing. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Minish Cap. I feel like it's been a very long time since I last played it. So, like, part of it would be relatively fresh to me as well. Because of how long it's been. Okay, this is gonna be the last reset, and then we're gonna move on to something else for a bit. I'll probably do like 4 or 5 Zone 20 runs. And then I'll go back to the sewers for a bit. I don't need to exit the game, though, for that. What if we just suddenly get really lucky in here? That would be nice. That would be magnificent. Nothing yet. Was that the second or the third run through this? I can't believe I've already lost count this quickly. Let's say this is the third. I have to take a look at that Charmander. I knew it wasn't it, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so there's gonna be 4, and then 1 more, and then we're gonna go to the sewers. Okay, 1 more. I think that was already the 5th, but doesn't matter. See if we get any luck. Doesn't look like it. I wanted to do a quick double check on that guard jump, but because I felt unsure on it. Something aggroed at me. Okay, where's that sewer warp then? We did unlock it as a warp point, right? It was somewhere in the blue sector. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here it is. Lumio sewers. Time to try and get ourselves that Litwick. I need to not go the wrong way, though. Well, you know what? Now that we're here anyway, might as well check this corner. No luck, though. All right. Let the running back and forth begin again. Hopefully we get some good luck. That rat is no longer pumped up, though. That's unfortunate. Not for me, but for the pat rat, at least it is. Both of these methods that we're like frequenting right now, I guess, are not the most ideal. Because both of them basically involve just a very limited amount of Pokemon that could potentially become shiny. Oh, look at this alpha here. That thing is going to become a problem. I'm going to run all the way back here in hopes of potentially despawning it. No, I don't think that actually is going to despawn it if it follows me like that. Unless it stays there now. Then I can despawn it by going all the way. Just wanted to do that real quick because that alpha is gonna get in the way really badly if I let it stay there. I do think at one point I might want to switch to a slightly more aggressive approach for shiny huntings, just so that we can get like at least one more today. Like maybe there's just a cheesy Area 3 thing. Even if I do have most of the things there already. Still strange to me that this is like the only place really that Litwick spawns. Look at that Super Fang from all the way back there. Luckily, that's a physical attack. It's not going to hit me. What did I calculate earlier again? Like roughly 3 hours, right? For, like odds-wise. I don't think realistically we would get one today. course, we can try. I'm still a little curious on the reloading method as well. That obviously will take a bit longer. But it also gives you a chance of Patrat and Klefki. And Neubad, actually. So there's some merit to it as well still. I don't know if exiting is necessary though. There's an alpha there again. Oh, that alpha is going to be annoying now, isn't it? I should have run again. I should have gone for another run there. To see if that alpha had despawned. Because if that was the case, then I would have known that you don't need to, like, fully go outside. I think I might test that next time an alpha Klefki spawns. I do still think there's potential merit in going all the way back here and then reloading those Klefki back in near the beginning as well. Just so that you're doing both of them, you know what I mean? I feel like the one up on top would shine. When you're like right below on the bottom of the ladder. Yeah, just for the fact that if I go all the way to the wall there, I reload these Klefki, I'm pretty sure at least. That already kind of makes that worth it. My main target is still the Litwick, of course. But if we end up with an incidental Klefki, that would be very nice too. Doing it that way does run the risk of getting hit by those pat rats a little bit more though. Or by a fire spin, apparently. I should remake like the Google Docs list that I used to have, by the way, on games that I've done on stream. To keep things kind of like easy to track, you know what I mean? I won't be able to put like specific dates and everything like some people have. Because I just, you know, some games were a long time ago. But it would still be kind of worth tracking, you know? I'd spend a tiny little bit of time after stream working on that if I have the energy to do so. All of this does take a minute, doesn't it? I think I'll do one more run and then I'm gonna go back to zone 20 for a minute. Or any other zone, really. Just like whatever zone ends up letting you farm a lot of spawns. I'm gonna check those Enke and the Gumi. Just to be safe. Nah, nothing there. Oh, really? Is there anything in Zone 3 that I still need to get? Yeah, there's Esper. We still have Esper and we still have Pancham. And Pikachu, actually. So there is some merit. Let me go and evolve these two. While we can. There we go, nice. Okay, let's start getting on that reloading business. Just gonna spend a little while doing this. The thing I would hope for most here is probably Esper. So I guess Pancham would be the rarest thing to get. So that would probably be the most ideal. I really hope it doesn't take too much longer before they before they put Pokemon Colosseum on NSO. Would really love to play that game again. And Pokemon DX. That's also one that I would love to play at one point. I've never played that one before. But I would really like to. Let's see if we've gotten any luck yet. Not up here. Ooh, even more Minish Cap music. The playlist is trying to motivate me to pick that game now. It was trying to motivate me for Wind Waker earlier, but it's changed opinion. No luck yet here. To be fair, Wind Waker I pretty much already did on stream before. So it wouldn't be like a new thing stream-wise. Then again, you don't always have to do something new, of course. But still. Have a drink real quick. That's one nice thing about this. You can kind of just do this one like one-handed. Which is pretty nice. So is this music. This music is also pretty nice. In the meantime, though, how's everyone's evening so far? Or everyone's afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. Or maybe morning even, who knows? Mine's been pretty chill. Even though it's been a good long while since we've last found a shiny, it's been almost 2 hours. So that's not too extraordinary, I guess. Since we spent the first 2 hours of yesterday not getting anything. You're doing good? Nice, Meek, nice. What have you been doing? Probably Pokemon, if I had to guess. Still on the Drampa. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, that one's gonna take a minute, I would imagine. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to doing that hunt myself or not. Does this, like, are you close enough here to reload the entire zone, I'm wondering? What would be the furthest point from here? Like, this, I guess? It's slightly too far away. So I wonder if this is, like, a good method to, like, reload everything. You know what I mean? I don't think it is. Like, particularly the Pikachu and the Esper, which are the things that I need, basically. Seem like they might be just out of range if you use that method. That's interesting. I don't know what the best way to go about that is, and kind of looking through everything for a bit, just to see what I might want to do. I also don't know what the best way for this zone is. Does anyone have any idea on what the best method for this zone would be? Would it be benching or would it be running and warping? Probably doesn't matter a whole lot. A lot of spawns happen right away when you bench, though. So that is interesting. One thing I would be curious about, though, is if the Avalok, which spawns right around here, is within range. No, it's not even close. So you would be missing out on that one if you bench reset here. This is interesting. Maybe from that perspective, it would be better to just run through and reload. Probably really isn't any difference. I just really want to have something from this zone. You know what I mean? It's a very aggressive zone, though, as you could tell. And it's still hard for me to tell whether I would want to bench or whether I would want to do this. The snow runs are a good one to like potentially get multiple shinies of in a day as well, or not in a day, in a just in general, because they have multiple, like they have 2 different evolutions. So that is a pretty useful hunt as well. Just gotta make sure that you take a proper look at everything, you know? Let's see. Nothing yet. The ice cream would be a great thing to get shiny as well. Vanillite. As we go ahead and listen to one of the best songs in this playlist. I already really enjoyed this song before I ever even played Animal Crossing. And now that I have played Animal Crossing, including like bits with Cap'n in it, it's like become even better. You know what I mean? Where are the spawns? I mean, the spawns are plenty, but the shiny spawns, I mean specifically. These matchup, those would be great to get shiny as well. Those were what I initially had in mind for the Joe Hendry name. But then that Medicham happened. And it would have been fantastic if this Alpha here was shiny. kind of surprised, honestly, that we haven't seen a shiny in this zone yet. With how pretty crazy the spawn rate can be in here. Oh, look at this! Shiny Snover. Get in that Dusk Ball, you. Nice, nice, nice. Let me go have a quick save about that. We got ourselves a shiny Snover. Nice. I'm having a look in the boxes. Shiny number 6 of the day. It took a minute to get another one, but look at this. I'm really happy with that one. We'll probably want to move on to a different zone for a bit. But I'm glad I went in here. I really like Obama Snow, so I'm glad to have that one shiny. Ah, Dawn is approaching. Let me go sit on the bench real quick. Oh, let me grab some Pokeballs from him. Nice. Ended up with a 6th shiny, finally. I don't think we're going to be going for quite as long as we did yesterday. So I'm glad we got that one in there still. Let's do some Zone 20. See if it wants to be generous. For the time being, the answer is no. But you never know. I thought that Regalsh was shiny for a second. I almost got excited, but then I realized, no, it's not. I'm realizing that we don't really have much of a plan anymore for what the hunts are looking like at the moment. I could do a couple of bench resets again for the Fennekin, maybe. Just to see if it finally wants to be generous. Hopefully it will. Not the low punny yet, though. Nothing down below. Nothing across there. And nothing down there. Let's bench. Bench and pray. That's what we do here. Anything down there? No. I always like this Metroid Prime music. Reminds me of the fun we've been having with that over the past few weeks. Any luck on that Drampa yet, Meek? I hope so. Probably not, though. I feel like you would have already sent a message in chat if there was. Nope. Yeah, I figured as much. Let's see. Hopefully you do get that luck, though. Hopefully it happens soon. Hello, Mario Sunshine Music. Nothing yet. I will say I'm pretty happy with what we've got tonight. 6 shinies in total, including one of my main targets. Can't complain on that one. No prize medals earned. As tends to be the case quite often. Still nothing yet. Let's see, what song will we get next? Something good, I hope. Oh yeah, that is pretty good. Monster Hunter Try. Do I want to go with this method until I call it, or do I want to go do something else at some point in the meantime? I'm not sure. I feel like I'm getting more efficient though with how to do this reset. Which is nice. Sometimes I really find myself like longing back to the days when we would just play Monster Hunter Try every day. Those were good times, man. Those were really good times. It was a point in time, you know, like the Wii period was like when I really... I wouldn't say that was like when I got into gaming, because that was of course way before that, but it was like what kind of got me into like the community aspect of gaming. You know what I mean? Because I like first like I properly started playing with people online. And I started like meeting people online for the first time ever. And you would start getting on these like online forums talking about like all the new Nintendo games and whatnot. And that was quite fun. It wasn't quite as toxic as like things like Reddit are nowadays. I would play a lot of GoldenEye online on the Wii. And eventually I had like this Dutch kind of guild. In a way. I don't know if it was a guild. It was more like just a gaming group. I made a mistake by doing this warp. Alright. I guess I'll just go check if something down here is shiny. Doesn't look like it. And then we'll move on to a different area, I suppose. Because I don't want to make that climb again. But yeah, I would we would play GoldenEye online. On the Wii, which was like one of my favorite games at that point. Had a lot of fun playing that game online. And then, of course, obviously there was Monster Hunter, but also Mario Kart Wii. And And a whole bunch of great single-player games I discovered around that time. Like Punch-Out is a good example. Pandora's Tower, which to this day is one of my favorite games of all time. So yeah, you really end up like wishing to feel those times again, in a way, if that makes any sense at all. To be fair, part of it is also just like being a kid and just the way you look at things and the way like everything seems a lot more grandiose when you're a kid. You know what I mean? So that also plays a factor in it. Look at that Alpha Totodile here. Oh, there's Monster Hunter again. Yeah, this was the game that like really kickstarted a lot of things for me, Monster Hunter to try. And in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have had it any other way. I would like if something in here shines, though. That would be fun. We'll probably quickly go to a different area. What's going on here? What's... My controller was being really weird there for a second. What happened there? Like, my character kind of just got its own free will for a second. Almost like my controller was having issues. But it seems to be okay again now. So, hopefully that doesn't happen again. And hopefully that's not indicative of like long-term technical issues with my controller. Because that would not be fun. Even though I do kind of want to get a different controller for the Switch. But that's an expensive hobby. But at the same time, I would also kind of just rather not. You know what I mean? Always got to make sure we get that last Bulbasaur deck in there. Look at that Alakazam. I'm gonna do one more run through in here, and then I think I'm just gonna go into some random other area. Like whatever the next area is, someone, whatever the first area is someone mentions in chat, I'll go there for a couple of runs before we call it for the night. I feel like I've done that exact thing before, but that's a fun way to end it, right? I would say so, at least. Unless we just get a shiny right here. That would also be fun. Alright, I'll do one more run through Area 20 and then we'll go somewhere else for a few more minutes. $11? Alright. Alright, let's go to 11 then. Last time you picked an area like that, Meek, I got a shiny right away. Hopefully we would get that happen again. What is in 11? Oh, Gyarados is there. Is there any specific reason, Meek, that you picked 11? Or did you just, like, pick a random number and run with it? It's a bit of an awkward area, though, this. Where does 6... Like, if I warp to 6, does that put me just outside of 11? I didn't quite put me where I hoped it would. Random number, but you hoped for this zone. I see, fair enough. It's a little bit of an awkward zone, though, because you, like... You can't really check the whole thing in one go. You know what I mean? Unless there's like a bench here that I'm failing to see. Alright, I'll do one more run through both sides of the zone. And then I think we'll call it for the night. What if we end up getting yet another Furfrou? There must be a more efficient way to do this area. Just gonna look through there. Might as well. Alright, last check of the night. Let's see if we get some luck. Nothing yet. No, it looks like we're out of luck for the evening. One thing I do want to check, though, if you, like, reload 6 like this, how close would you be to those Magikarps? Like, pretty decently close. So I wonder if you could spam that in order to hunt those Magikarp. I'm not sure, but I think that's going to be where we call it for tonight. Let's have a quick another look at our haul, though. We had, of course, yet another Phalanx. Our 7th Phalanx, which we named Pure Fusion. Then we got this Medicham, named Joe Henry. And then I'm going to go back into the Xbox. We got the Froakie finally. After quite a long while of hunting that one. We got a Flappy in there. And a random Bunnelby. Which I'll take. I like that Pokemon. I'll take it. And Snover, which I'm very happy with. So, you know, all in all, I would say that's a pretty good haul for this night. Not going quite as long as we did the last 2 days, but that's okay, right? I feel like that's fine. Thank you very much, everyone who watched tonight, though. It's appreciated as always, of course. And hopefully, hopefully we will be able to have some fun with Metroid Prime tomorrow. For the last little bit. You got the Dramper, really, Meek, really. Nice. That's really good. Congrats on that, Meek. Congrats. GG's. Just now? Nice, nice, nice. Took quite a while, didn't it? But GG's to you. GG's to you. I'm glad you were able to do that. You're gonna have to show me that thing when I get downstairs in a bit. In any case, though, thank you very much, everyone who watched tonight. We are going to go ahead and raid our friend Catherine, who was here earlier. Which she's always fun to watch, and she's playing a Mario and Luigi game. I'm pretty sure. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Although she's probably still just like talking and whatnot, because you know she's really good at that. In any case, thank you very much, everyone, tonight. I appreciate you watching and chatting and everything else, of course. And let's all go say hi to Catherine. Let me put the raid messages in there before I forget. There we go. All right, let's go say hi to Catherine. And I will see you guys tomorrow with the finish of Metroid Prime. Thank you very much. Good night.
Compliment.